You all know me. Know how I earn a living. I'll catch this bird for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. It's bad fish. Not like going down the pond chasing bluegills or tommycods. This shark, swallow you whole. Shaking, tenderizing, down you go. And we gotta do it quick. That'll bring back the tourists. That'll put all your businesses on a paying basis. But it's not gonna be pleasant. I value my neck a lot more than $3,000, Chief. I'll find him for 3, but I'll catch him and kill him for 10. And you gotta make up your minds. You wanna stay alive and ante up? You wanna play it cheap? Be on welfare the whole winter. I don't want no volunteers. I don't want no mates. There's too many captains on this island. $10,000 for me by myself. For that you get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
You have just been listening to our brand new theme tune. Hello everyone, welcome to the Ancient Slumber podcast, show number 15. My name is Chris Ward, and as ever I am joined by Myron Schmidt. How you doing, Myron?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry, I was sleeping there, Chris.
Whoa, yeah, you bloody have been and all. I've been sat here an hour screaming at my TV. My monitor, I should say. I've even got Gore involved in the search for you. Gore Blimey's been looking for you.
I believe somebody tried to convince me that Linda Carter was naked somewhere.
Yes. We were going to go down some other routes. Some keywords to draw you back out to the internet. Like change your star rating on Amityville 2 to 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
See if you noticed. Anyway, yes, you haven't heard it yet, but the listeners have. We got a new theme tune.
That's cool. I
It
can't
is
wait
cool.
to actually hear it.
I know, I'm leaving it as a surprise for you, so you've got to listen to the show. But I'm going to give the chap who did it for us a little shout out. His name is Vladimir from Belgrade, although he goes by the name of Marlborough Guy online. If you go, there's a site called Fiverr.com. Have you heard of that?
You mentioned it before.
Yeah, if it's sort of professionals go on there and sell their services, you know, the minimum price is $5, hence why it's called Fiverr, but it's Fiverr. I went on there and put out that we're looking for a new theme tune, and Vladimir got in touch and did the honours for us, and I'm bloody pleased with the result.
That is cool.
It is cool, and it will also stop those bastards trying to do us for copyright infringement that I keep getting emails about every week. I had permission from the band, they can fuck off.
Oh.
Even though the band don't own the bloody rights. But there you go.
How could they not own the rights?
That'd be the publishing company. I think it's probably Earache. I can't remember what label that album came out on. But so everyone can hear us now, because it's our tune and no one else is bloody having it.
That's right.
And it's called Heavy Metal Master as well, which is nice. I like that. So thanks to Vladimir for that.
Everybody over here always gets a kick out of Donald Trump. You know?
And most people over here would like to kick Donald Trump.
Everybody here would. He always uses a theme song and then the band inevitably complains.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
It was Queen, and then it was, was it Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah.
I think so, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I think somebody else used Eye of the Tiger, but Survivor didn't like it, yeah.
You know, it's just... So we just had our quote-unquote Republican convention last week.
That's nice for you. Is it like the San Diego Comic-Con convention? Is it like that?
It's worse.
Is it?
He's promised Donald Trump, the presumptive nominee, usually controls the party. So, he promised a really big, lots of star power event. And who do they get? Scott Baio.
Of course. Couldn't they afford the funds?
Star power was Scott Baio,
Yeah.
a pyramid scheme person,
Yeah.
some underwear model, Antonio Sabato Jr., something like that.
I don't know who that is.
It's all right.
At least when Bush was in, you got people like Clint Eastwood doing stuff, didn't you?
Oh, God help us. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I can't remember who they get over here. I know Michael Caine did one of the Conservative Party ones once.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, that's just a nice lead-in, because I think he was in one of these movies we were watching.
He is. He was. We'll get there.
Do we have to?
Yes. Oh, talking of Donald Trump, I wanted to ask you this. I don't suppose you listen to it, but on BBC Radio 4 over here every week they do a show called Dead Ringers.
Okay.
And it's impressions, political impressions and sketch shows, that type of thing. And there's a guy on there who does a Donald Trump impression. I'm going to have to send this to you because it is absolutely spot on. And but he does this thing, and I've been starting to do it at home when I'm talking to my missus now. He'll talk like Trump, and if you notice, Trump he says something, and then he sort of follows it up with a very high pitch, and that's great. Like that, doesn't he?
I know he does.
And I've been doing that. Me and my missus were shopping earlier. She's picking things off. Do you want these? What are these? I'm picking up going, hot dog sausages. That'll be great. So yeah, I'm doing my own little Trump impersonations now. And my son actually showed me a game on his phone the other day. It's called Punch Trump, I think. And you just have to touch the screen and it throws a fist in Donald Trump's face.
Oh, sweet.
You have to get so many hits in and all that. Bit like Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the Nintendo.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It was bad. He bragged about star power, and the star he gets is Scott Baio.
Yeah, that is quite sad, isn't it?
It's pathetic. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, you can see why Clint Eastwood didn't want to come forward for that one, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there are some places, these political people, they will start, they may have strong views, but no, we draw the line somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well. Right then, shall we move on?
Yeah. Do we need to talk about Boris Johnson as your new foreign minister?
Oh, we can fuck off. What's the point in that? Oh, God.
I have no idea.
I think it's just a case of, right, you got us into this mess, now you can deal with it. I think that's the only reason I can come up with for why he was chosen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know either.
Oh, but there you go. Well, what can you do?
I don't know.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll just fuck it up and then they'll sack him.
That's right.
But there you go.
This was The World in Geopolitical Analysis by Myron and Chris.
Yes, put the worlds to rights. One day at a time.
Exactly.
4 Jaws films, plus we're going to have a little chat about The Witch.
Yes.
Ooh, I watched it 2 nights ago. You've seen it before.
I have. Saw it in the movie theater.
Oh, this could be controversial. And before that, we're going to do some good, some bad, some ugly.
Yes, we are.
Right. Let's do that then. Music.
Cue it.
Right then. Kick us off, Myron. Kick us off with something good.
Surprisingly.
You dare say found footage.
Surprisingly, we're going to go with a found footage film.
Fucking hell.
It was one I mentioned I was going to watch last week called Lake Mungo.
Oh, yes. I have seen that, but I don't really remember much about it.
This is the one where it's got more twists and turns than a double helix DNA model.
I'm sure that's a twisty-turny thing.
Remember, it's about the girl who drowns, and then at first they think she's a ghost, but the son faked it, or the brother faked it, and then she was really a ghost to the photographers, but there's a whole lot of stuff that build up to that point.
I've got to be honest, I watched it when it came out, and I just cannot remember a damn thing about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised found footage usually doesn't click with you, so.
No.
But I really enjoyed Lake Mungo. It was
good. Let's move on. Right.
It was excellent.
All right.
It was excellent.
It was excellent. You enjoyed it.
I did.
Oh, good-o.
What about you, Chris?
What about me? I watched a film. You'll probably laugh at me for this, actually, but I really love this film.
A found footage film.
La Bamba. I love La Bamba.
Oh, God.
Rock and roll. It's an 80s film set in the 50s. What's not to fucking like?
That's true. Except for the movie La Bamba.
It's a great film. What do you want about? Can you remember what happened in it?
He died at the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. See, that's more than I can remember about Lake fucking Mungo. So obviously it made more of an impression.
Touche. Fair play.
Get out of that one, Perry.
Mm-mm. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I love La Bamba. I saw it in 87 about 150 times in one weekend. I love it. I love rock and roll anyway. Yeah, I know a lot of biographies get a little bit sort of sugary and a little bit wash over some of the facts, but I think it's a pretty good film. It puts you in that place, which I like. A good biography does that. It puts you in that place, and that's what it does. I enjoy it.
Excellent.
That's all I'm going to say.
Excellent.
And that's great, as Trump would say. I'll probably keep doing that because I think it's funny.
It's a big, beautiful, just beautiful movie.
It is.
Oh, God.
Give us a bad one then.
Oh, well, we're going to have to go back to 2009 for the bad one.
Oh, okay.
This is a movie called Paintball.
Right, I don't know that one.
Well, you're one of the lucky ones.
Is it called something else over here?
I think it's just called Paintball, to be honest.
Okay, yep, don't know that one.
It's a play on Most Dangerous Game.
Okay, yeah.
You know, group of people off to play the world's best paintball course in Russia. Russia.
Yeah, because that's where you'd go for that sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Slowly being picked off by somebody shooting live bullets at him.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. Didn't they do that in Child's Play 3 when he swapped the blanks for live ones?
I don't know.
Ah.
It was just bad.
Oh, anyone in it we know?
No.
Oh.
No.
Not Scott Baio or anyone like that?
No.
Oh dear. They couldn't even afford him.
No, they couldn't.
Is it found footage?
No, not this.
Oh, bloody hell. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get there on the ugly.
No, of course we are. My bad is a film called The Creeps from 1997. It's a child's band film. It's a nice idea. It's sort of a scientist brings back Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, but he does it slightly wrong, and they come back as 3-foot-high midgets. Can I say midgets? Well, I just did. So yeah, 3-feet-high midgets.
Oh, God.
It's quite a cool idea. If you watch the trailer, it looks quite good. And then you watch the film, fuck me.
Oh.
It's pitiful. It really is pitiful. The guy who plays the Dracula is I can't remember, never remember his name. He's in loads of films. He's in Land of the Dead. He plays that little midget fella when they go into the fighting arena. And I think he's in Troll as well, the first Troll film. You'll know him if you see him. Yeah, he plays a little midget Dracula. He's quite good. It's just bad. It's boring. Not a lot really happens. The best stuff's in the trailer. Watch the trailer, don't watch the film.
Why did you watch that?
I've got it because it's part of a series that come out from 88 films. It's like their Grindhouse series. You know, they do the Italian slasher series and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, years ago they did a series called the Grindhouse series, and I'm sort of collecting those at the moment, and it's just part of that. So if it wasn't part of that, I wouldn't have bothered with it.
Okay.
But it's in that series. It only cost me a couple of quid, and it looks nice on my shelf with all the numbered spines with all the others.
Well, if it's only a couple of quid, that's fine.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, God.
Go on then, ugly.
Ugly.
Yeah.
We're going to have to dip into the most maligned genre style of filmmaking.
Romantic comedy.
Found footage.
Oh, there's a surprise.
So the sole reason I watched this is one of the taglines in the description was the first NC-17 found footage.
Yes, I saw you tweet about that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Called Lucky Bastard.
Yeah.
Certainly does not describe any of the viewers of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially what the premise is some guy writes into a porn website, writes a essay or fills out an application, and gets chosen to have relations with a porn star on the site.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of extracurricular nudity and sex that really doesn't go with the movie, but hey, they wanted an NC-17, so they have a lot of sex.
So is that what gets it the rating?
Yes.
All
yes.
right. There's no gore or violence or nothing?
Well, I'm getting there, but there's a lot of sex.
Okay.
And so they get the guy, they take him to the house, they're going to shoot the porn where he's in it with the porn star, and he has a little premature issue, if you will.
Ah.
Everybody laughs at him, everybody makes fun of him.
Well, it's not premature because it happened at the right time for him.
Oh, no, it happened when she touched it.
Yeah, but it happened at the right time for him. He didn't care when it was coming, did he?
Well, I think he wanted to actually, be in the act. He didn't even make it that far.
Okay.
So they all laugh at him, and then he kills everybody.
Yeah, sounds fair to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, decent premise. The kill stuff was actually, it was all right, but, it was ugly because they wanted to make an NC-17 movie, so they threw a lot of sex in it. It really didn't make that much of a difference, but it just, it was.
Well, there you go.
Don't watch it.
Well, I probably won't anyway, but yeah.
I mean, if you want to see a whole bunch of female nudity, go watch Nude for Satan.
Well, yes, there you go. There's a recommendation. You hated that film.
I hate this one more.
Oh, okay. On that note, My Ugly is a film that we spoke about last week as well.
Oh, Lord.
Amityville 3. I watched that DVD that I got with the Kim Newman, Steve Jones commentary.
Yes.
I did enjoy the commentary. It was very, very good. Not as good as the Amityville 2 one, but still very good. But it dawned on me whilst watching the film that it really is a bland-looking film. There's not a lot of colour to it. And it feels like Amityville on a budget. A bigger budget than what came after it, certainly. But, and while you're watching the film, there are things that I never noticed before, like the eyes of the house have actually been changed to square ones on one side of the house.
Really?
Yeah, so when you actually see the sort of the triangular shape eyes that we know, they're only on one side of the house on this one, which is the side with the balcony overlooking the lake. But on all the other films, the side that we see is the side with the front door on.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it till Kim Newman pointed it out in the commentary. And I went, oh yeah. To be fair, it's a better print. If you get the special edition, it's a better print of the film than if you buy the standard edition. And the commentary is worth it, but it's not a very pleasant film to look at. It's quite bland looking. Do you know what I mean? It's not a lot of colour. Everything looks grey or brown. It's just not a great looking film. But I enjoyed the commentary, but whether I watch it again, I'm not too sure.
But you did buy the collector's edition.
Well, yes, it sits with my Amityville 2 one very nicely. Because obviously Twitter is on my side when it comes to the Amityville 2 reviews.
Yeah, apparently it is.
Yes, so you're wrong.
I'm frequently wrong.
But yeah, so that's it. Good, bad, and ugly, really.
Yeah, although I could go with a lot more uglies, I gotta tell you. Boy, I saw some real dogs.
Maybe I haven't watched much, to be honest, because I've been HGV training all week, so I haven't watched much.
Did you have like a class you had to be at?
Yeah, I did about 4 days of intensive lessons in the nice hot sun over here, in the 8-hour lessons in the truck cab with no air conditioning.
Oh.
Third world problems, you know.
Yuck.
Yes, it was very hot.
Yuck.
But I did pass the test, so there you go.
Did you have to take a written test and a driving test?
Yes, I had to do my first ever theory test, which I scraped by with 1 point to spare.
Doesn't matter, does it?
No, a pass is a pass.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Luckily, when I did my driving test, it was over 20 years ago, so I didn't have to do all that then. But there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Only came in the late 90s, I think 1997, something like that. I did mine in 1994, so.
Gotcha.
Anyway, enough of the domestic stuff. Should we move on to some films?
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. Let's move on to our first one of the night. That is Jaws.
Ooh. There is a creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws. This is Universal's extraordinary motion picture version of Peter Benchley's best-selling novel, Jaws.
I just found out that a girl got killed here last week. And you knew it. You knew there was a shark out there. You knew it was dangerous. But you let people go swimming anyway.
yell barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Is it true that most people get attacked by sharks in 3 feet of water, about 10 feet from the beach? Yeah.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.
We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark.
Bad fish. But I'll catch him and kill him.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
This shark, swallow you whole.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's a 20-footer.
25. 3 tons on them.
Hurry up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up now. Don't wait for me. Now! Shoot! What's the tail? Give him room! I can't! He's trying to run! Oh! Come quick! I can't hold it! Hurry! Break it up! Brody! Everybody out of the water!
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Jaws. See it before you go swimming.
Right then. Jaws, 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Lorraine Gary, Murray Hamilton, Carl Gottlieb, Jeffrey Kramer, and based on the book by Peter Benchley.
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever read the book?
Yes, I have.
Yes. What do you think?
Oh, I love the book. I thought the book is really good.
Do you? See, to me, Jaws is whenever anybody says to me, oh, you know, you should read the book. The book's always better than the film. I always throw back at them, Jaws. Because the book is not better than the film.
Oh.
It has moments, but I don't think it's that great a book.
You know, to be honest, I haven't read it in years and years and years.
If they made the film as it is in the book, it would not be revered as the masterpiece that it is today.
Yeah.
I think is true to say. Anyway, right. Do you have a synopsis for this one? Or shall I just read out what's on the page?
Shark enters waters typically not inhabited by great whites and eats people.
Ooh. Right then. So, did you see this at cinemas?
No, I did not.
Oh, I did.
I did not.
I did, but not in 1975 because I wasn't born.
Oh, shut up.
I saw it in cinemas in 2013 when it got an HD re-release.
How was it?
Oh, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. One of the best looking films I've seen on a screen.
Especially with that surround sound and the music. Oh, that must have been great.
It was. I've seen, apart from Jaws 2, I've seen all of them on the big screen.
I've only seen Jaws 3D on the screen.
Never mind.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
Anyway, yeah.
But no, I mean, it ranks up there to me in terms of musical score with, Halloween and The Thing in terms of just phenomenal music scores.
Yes, absolutely. It's as soon as you hear those first two notes, everybody knows what's going to happen.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're on Amity Island, which is in the book is supposed to be near Long Island, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it's actually Massachusetts in the film, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, if you look at some of the boats on the license plates, they've got MS.
I thought it was New York. I'll be darned.
Now, I think there's a little bit of confusion. In the book, it's clearly defined as being part of New York, but in the film, I think they filmed it at Martha's Vineyard, and a lot of the boats have got Massachusetts plates on them.
Ah, gotcha.
So I think it's a little bit sort of mysterious in the film where it actually is. Yeah, we got Police Chief Brody, played by Roy Scheider. Him and his wife Ellen and their 2 kids have moved to Amity Island from New York. They're not seen as islanders because they weren't born there, so there's a little bit of a sort of an exclusion around them, which plays into Brody's character quite a bit, I think.
Yes, it does.
So we got them. Who else have we got? We got Mayor Vaughn, played by Murray Hamilton, who I'm sure could double as Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. If you look at Ian Gillan now, he looks just like it. He does. And that's great. Yeah, Murray Hamilton plays the mayor who wants to keep the beaches open because there's a financial incentive to do so, obviously.
Yes.
They need to earn their money for when they shut down in the winter. Also, we have Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, who is a young scientist who has come along to help them catch the shark. And the other major player is probably my favourite character in the whole film. In fact, the whole series is Quint, played by Robert Shaw. I want to be Quint when I'm older.
Quint.
I just think he's brilliant.
The actor does. I mean, he makes it an incredible, memorable character.
Yes, he is. He's got a song for all occasions. He hates Hooper, the little rich kid.
He does.
He likes to voice his authority over the chief when they're out at sea. Because it's his boat.
That's right.
So, but yeah, he's a very interesting character. He is very much the, fuck me, I forgot what it's called now. Who's the captain in Moby Dick?
Ahab?
Ahab. He's very much the Ahab of this film, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, he's going to go down with his boat. He's going to stop at nothing to catch this shark. Which he doesn't really. Well, he does stop at nothing. So the first half of the film, we're really setting up Brody and the situation back in Amity. You know, they want to keep the beaches open. Brody knows there's a shark there and he wants to shut the beaches. He's opposed by Mayor Vaughan and his band of councillors. Who really are, they do need a slap, don't they?
They do.
You know.
Oh.
I suppose it should be said in the book that the Mayor Vaughan, he wants to keep the beaches open because he owes money to the mafia.
Interesting.
Yes, which they didn't bring into the film, but they could quite easily have. But yeah, that's one of the things that Spielberg cut out of the story. He also cut out the affair between Hooper and Ellen Brody.
Boy, it's been years since I read Jaws.
Yeah, in the book, Hooper and Ellen Brody have an affair, and obviously that sets up the final act when Hooper and Brody are on the boat together because they've got to work together to survive.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but again, wisely, Spielberg cut that out. Otherwise, it would have been a bit too soap opera-y, I think.
Yeah, it would have been yeah.
But I think you still get that tension between the three main characters at the end when they're on the boat, which is great. You obviously got Police Chief Brody, who on land is the authority, but out to sea he's got nothing.
That's right.
And he can't swim, and he's not a seafaring person, and he's, forgive the pun, but he's out of his depth.
Yes.
You got Hooper, who's got all the gadgets, who knows what to do if he was reading it in a textbook. But when it comes to actually catching a 25-foot great white, you may need a little bit more than a syringe.
That's right. And then you've got Quint, who's bound to use his tiny boat and his wits only to catch the shark.
Yes, he's an experienced shark fisherman, but he's never come across one this big before. So they use the ingenious idea that Steven Spielberg came up with of tying barrels to the shark to draw him to the surface of the water so they can drown him.
Yes.
Which doesn't always go to plan.
No,
which is a lot like the making of the film. Have you seen the documentary?
I have not.
The Shark Is Not Working. Oh, it's a fantastic documentary.
The Shark Is Not Working?
Yeah, if you get the Blu-ray, it comes on that. There's two documentaries. There's a making of Jaws, which is about an hour and a half long, which is quite good. And there's one called The Shark Is Not Working, which is a fantastic documentary. Goes into everything. Interviews with, Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, Steven Spielberg, everybody involved.
Right.
Yeah, so basically, because when you mention Jaws to people, the first thing they always go, oh, the shark looks fake. You think, well, of course it does. They're not going to use a real one, are they? But
when people make that comment, you kind of wish they would use a real one on them.
Well, yeah, it's one of those other things. Yeah, it does look fake, but the way that Spielberg shoots it, you don't notice it. I think the only thing that's really wrong with it looks a bit jowly around the mouth.
It really doesn't detract at all from the movie. At all.
No. And you got to remember, this is 1975, there's no computer effects, there's no, there is puppet animation, but it's not as refined as it would become. So, right. Spielberg had to find a way to keep the shark on the screen, but not so much that you'd notice how rubber it is. And that's why he came up with the idea of the barrels, which Quint duly does by shooting the shark with 3 barrels, and he still can't drown the fucking thing.
Not even throwing his own body down the shark's mouth stops it.
No, that's a great scene when Quint gets it. Spoiler for Jaws, Quint gets it. But he had to. He had to die fighting the fish.
That's right. There's no other way for him to die.
No. Fantastic character, fantastic film. This was one of those films that in the early days of VHS, I would always see this on the video rental shelf in the shop. I don't know about over there, but in the UK, it used to be on telly quite a lot in the early 80s, usually on a bank holiday, Easter Monday, something like that. You'd either get Jaws or Jaws 2.
Absolutely.
So, during those early years, Jaws was sort of the film, really. It was, it is a horror film. A guy the other day asked me, what's your favourite horror film? And I said, well, strictly speaking, it's Jaws. And he said, is that a horror film? And I said, well, you wouldn't want to be in the water with it, would you? Which is true. And also, Jaws, it may be a rubber shark, but I've always said this, Jaws is still the reason that I look twice whenever I get into any body of water.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody always does. You look and you look again, just to be sure.
It's, it's so well done. It's a completely character-driven movie. And,
yes.
It just is some amazing acting all the way through.
I think that's the point, is it is character-driven rather than shark-driven.
Yep.
You like Chief Brody. You want him to be the hero. You like Hooper because he's funny and he's got all the gadgets. You like Quint, even though he's an obnoxious bastard. He's a great character.
That's right.
And he's also got probably the best scene in the film is when he's retelling the events of the USS Indianapolis in World War II.
That's right.
Which was, it's not funny, is it?
But it's a funny scene.
It's a good scene. That's when the three men bond, really.
Yes.
And I love the way that Quint and Hooper are showing each other their scars from different shark bites, and Brody just lifts up his top where he's been shot and just puts it back down again. I'm not even going to compete with these guys. Yeah, it's a great film. Let's say there's some good poignant moments in it. Quint telling his story of dropping off the Hiroshima bomb, which I do believe Robert Shaw was actually involved in that in real life. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I know.
Really?
Yes. And I do know that Robert Shaw rewrote that scene. A lot of people say he wrote it from scratch. I don't think he did. I think somebody else wrote it originally, and then he reworded it, is my understanding anyway.
Okay.
So, it's a great scene. It's a little bit of a calm before the storm of the final attacks. The only thing I think you can really say, that's not quite correct, is the way the shark dies. Because if you shoot a compressed air tank, they don't explode like that. They're not flammable.
Well,
if you shot it in the right place, it would probably shoot through the back of the shark's arse at quite a rate. It would kill it, but it wouldn't explode.
Yeah, but that's no fun.
No, that's right. You've got to heighten that. And I think with the sense of drama of that final scene, it all fits. It's like when you watch a James Bond film, you got that escalation up to the final point, and you might get a ridiculous ending, but it works for the film, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. Absolutely.
Lovely. So, anything else to say on Jaws?
I don't think so. It's dare I say, it's a masterpiece.
It is. I think it's pretty much. People say perfect film. I don't know if there is such a thing as a perfect film, but I think there's a few that come close, and this is one of them.
Yes, I would absolutely agree.
For me. So this is a definite 5. What should we have this time?
Dorsal fins out of 5.
No, that's too obvious. Let's go for something different. Let's go for 5
bow-legged women.
I was going to say Spanish ladies out of 5.
All right. We're on the same track.
Yeah. Bow-legged Spanish women. There you go.
That's right.
You've got to know the film to know what that's about, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a top draw film. I can't fault it, really.
No, and it doesn't matter how many times you've seen it.
No, it is one of my favourite films. If you look on my Letterboxd profile, where you put your 4 favourite films in, it is in there. It sometimes switches around with Rocky as to which is my favourite on any given day, but it's definitely my top 2 favourite films of all time.
Oh, yeah, you are a complete Rocky nut.
I am, and we are going to do Rocky one day.
You are a complete Rocky nut.
I know, I am. But that was Jaws. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to Jaws 2.
Jaws 2. Let's play a clip.
Jaws 2. The terror continues. In all the vast and unknown depths of the ocean, how could could there have been only one?
Chief Brody, can we go, please?
I think we may have another shark problem. Are you serious?
Roy Scheider.
Hey, look, there's my dad! The whole beach looks incredible.
Lorraine Gary. And Murray Hamilton.
Look at this. That's a shark. Out of the water now! Look, Brody, you started a panic on a public beach. Now, what if somebody decides to sue us? That's a shark. Did you ever stop to think about that?
And I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. And you better do something about this one because I don't intend to go through that hell again.
Don't press it this time.
Mike is out there.
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws.
Jaws 2, 1978.
Yes.
I thought it was 77. Well, there you go, 78. Directed by, I'm going to kill this name, Gino Svark. I don't know.
Don't even ask me.
Apologies, Mr. Svark, if I got your name wrong, but you can quite easily mispronounce mine if you like. Right, starring Roy Scheider, Lorraine Gary, Murray Hamilton, Jeffrey Kramer, Keith Gordon is in this. Oh, I like Keith Gordon. And Mark Gilpin. Right.
Do you, before we get started, do you know that there's a script controversy with this?
Is there? Do tell.
There is. The script that they used was not the first script. The first script was written by a guy named Hank Searles.
Ah, yeah, he wrote the novelization.
And that's where he got the novelization from.
Yes.
And it's a lot darker. It's really actually a very good book.
I used to have it. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I do. And I've read it about a year ago and really, really, really enjoyed it. So, but for whatever reason, they went with the brighter, more airy script rather than the darker.
That's probably why, because
script.
You said it there. It's brighter and airy. I think they were trying to pull in a more teenage audience, maybe.
We'll get to that at number 3.
Okay. Well, on this one, have you got a synopsis?
Shark comes back to Amityville and eats people.
Amityville, fucking hell, that would be a good film.
I mean, Amity. God almighty.
Oh, there's a script waiting to be written.
Oh, Jesus.
You got the haunted house, we run out to the lake for safety. Oh, bollocks, there's a shark in there.
Well, now listen. I have seen Malibu Shark Attack. I've seen Two-Headed Shark Attack, Three-Headed Shark Attack.
Oh, I haven't seen 3, I've seen 2.
Ghost Shark.
Have you seen Shark Exorcist yet?
No. Oh. Avalanche Shark, Sand Shark.
Sharknado?
All the Sharknadoes.
Shark Attack? 1, 2, and 3?
No, I've not seen those.
Oh, they're fucking awful. Yeah?
But the Three-Headed Shark, isn't that the one with Danny Trejo in it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I've seen Two-Headed Shark Attack, and that's got somebody's brother in it, isn't it? Is it Don Swayze or somebody like that? It's the brother of somebody famous, isn't
it? Yeah, I think you're right.
It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'll never forget. I told you that one, didn't I? I saw that. I can't remember what film it was. And it said starring, it said along the top, Stallone, Swayze, and somebody else. I can't remember.
It was all the brothers.
Yeah, Frank Stallone, Don Swayze. I thought, oh. And there was somebody else in it. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think it was Bo Bridges. You think, oh, Sylvester Stallone, Patrick Swayze, and Jeff Bridges. That'll be good. Oh, it's the brothers.
No.
And I do like Frank Stallone. I think he's funny. Especially if you look at his Twitter feed. But anyway, he's a celebrity I thought would come out for Trump on one of them rallies.
You know who's got an awesome Twitter feed?
David Coverdale.
Is a singer. Goes by the name of James Blunt.
Oh, fuck off.
No, he is on point, buddy. I am telling you he's on point.
Do you not know much about James Blunt?
All I know is I was trapped on an airplane. and I had my headphones in, and they had these commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Every commercial had his song. Same song.
Yeah.
3 hours on a flight.
That's the running joke with him.
I was having a bad day.
When we spoke about Trump earlier, and you said about Scott Baio,
Yes.
and you laughed. Why did you laugh?
Because it's Chachi from Happy Days.
Yeah, it's somebody who's not really very famous for being what they are, but famous for just being something different.
Yes.
That's a bit like James Blunt over here. He's a one-hit wonder, basically. He had one song a few years ago, that You're Beautiful song, and it became one of those. People have it at funerals and weddings and all this sort of stuff.
Oh God!
It's one of them, and he's become a bit of a joke because sometimes he appears on panel shows and things, and he always ends up just coming back to that song. So there's a series of adverts over here now for the National Lottery. And they put like a celebrity that you don't like in it, and they say, the slogan is "Don't let them be the winner" or something like that. And they've done one with him, and it's just him playing his song everywhere. You turn on your computer, and that song comes out, and it says, "Please don't let it be him." Yeah, he's a bit of a joke over here.
Oh, well, his Twitter feed is on point. I'm telling you, it is hysterical.
Oh, that's probably all he's got now. The fucking posh twat.
Scott Baio.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
I'll put it this way: if Boris Johnson got James Blunt to be his campaign runner like that,
oh God,
that's on par. That's the same sort of level we're looking at.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, where were we? Jaws 2.
Jaws 2.
Back to cheerier things.
That's right.
Yeah, Jaws was successful, so it was going to get a sequel.
Yes.
A bit of an obvious sequel, I think. I really like this film.
Oh, I do too.
I think
absolutely love this film.
If the first film didn't exist, this would probably be the best shark film out there.
I loved it. I thought it was a great film.
I like this because I always view this as a slasher film. It's gone quiet.
Really?
Yes. I think this is...
Do tell. That's an interesting take on it.
Because you have a group of teens sort of trying to put a finger up to authority by going out for the day. You've got a silent killer.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You could have some nudity if they wanted to go that way, but they didn't.
That's right.
But, yeah, if you look at the main plot beats of, say, Halloween, it's in Jaws too. Silent killer, kids out for the day. Along comes the authority figure at the end to make things right again.
That's right. That's right.
It's a slasher film.
It absolutely is.
Which is why I like it.
So out of all the kids that were in that group at the end.
Yes.
Did you recognize anybody who got a leading role in the film a few years later?
You mean Keith Gordon?
What film did he get a role in?
My first thought is Combat Academy with a young George Clooney. But I know you're aiming towards Christine.
Yes.
Yeah. I like Keith Gordon. And if you look at him now, he looks younger now than he did in Jaws 2.
Really?
Yeah, he's on the Blu-ray for this. There's a special feature with him, an interview with him, and he's looking pretty good for a man of his age. He's in his 50s now, late 50s, something like that.
Yeah, I'd be about right.
Yeah, he looks pretty damn good.
Interesting.
He could easily do a Christine sequel, I reckon, right now.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, honestly, he does. He looks really good.
No, we don't want a Christine sequel.
No, we don't. But...
Just shut up, because now you said it. Now there's going to be a Christine sequel.
Yeah, and it will be with a Dodge Charger or something like that.
Oh, God. I'd like to see a Christine made with a Ford Pinto.
Would you now?
Yeah.
Well, I've had plenty of cars that have had minds of their own.
Yes.
Not quite in the same way as Christine, but...
Oh.
So, Jaws 2, we're back in Amity. Everything's been all calm and fine since the last shark attack. We've still got Police Chief Brody.
Yes, we do.
Played again by Roy Scheider, who was bloody annoyed at not being able to be in French Connection 2. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He didn't want to make this film. He was contracted to Universal, and he owed them one more film, and he wanted to be in French Connection 2, because he was in the first one of them.
Okay.
The reason he's not in it is because he was contracted to Universal, and he owed them one more film, so he said, right, I'll do this to get out the contract.
He certainly didn't phone in a performance.
No.
He did well. I mean, the continuation of his character is near perfect.
Yeah, you believe he'd stepped up a bit, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, if you experienced that kind of a harrowing shark story, I would act just like he did in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Anytime something happens in the water, there's a shark.
That's right.
You know?
Yep, so he's back. The shark is back. Brody knows the shark is back. He goes back to the mayor and the councillors with photo evidence. They
don't believe him.
They think it's seaweed, because seaweed has eyes and teeth.
That's right.
So yeah, there's no Quint this time to help him out. There's no Hooper this time to help him out. And he's on his own. So when the local kids, including his 2 sons, go out boating for the day, they get stranded and the shark moves in for the attack. He's basically it.
That's right.
It is. It's a good film. Couple of iconic moments, I think, with the water skier. There's a water skier that gets done by the shark.
Exactly.
Which is a great scene. I love that house on the beach that old lady lives in.
Reminds me of the Betty White house in Lake Placid.
Yes. That's a good shout. Oh, they could remake Jaws 2 with Betty White. That would be good.
I love Betty White.
She could replace the shark.
She could. God, I love her in Lake Placid. That is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
Anyways.
One thing I noticed watching Jaws 2 this time that I've never noticed before is there's a scene when Brody is outside his house. It's at night. If you notice, by his front door, he's got one of those yellow barrels and he's using it as a plant pot.
I did not see that.
I'd never seen it before.
Nice. Good catch.
I watched it on Blu-ray for the first time. And, I was thinking, that doesn't look right. It's one of them barrels. He's got it and he's put soil in it and there's plants on the top. Nice little souvenir.
Oh, exactly.
So Mayor Vaughan is hesitant to do anything about it, so they sack Brody. They don't want him to be police chief anymore because he causes panic on the beach. And so he pinches the police boat off of Hendricks, and I like Hendricks. We didn't mention him before. I like Hendricks. You're thinking, who's Hendricks?
No. I'm trying to come up with the words. I think why Jaws and Jaws 2 work so well too is they have great supporting casts.
Yes.
People like Mayor Vaughn, people like Hendricks, who play their characters in the movie to a T.
Yes. Yep.
Even in Jaws, the doctor who did the autopsy with the dark glasses, he doesn't say anything around that when they're on the ferry, but you look over and he's just dour 1970s dressed dour old man just looking and it's all so well done.
They get across the authority of the committee.
Yes.
The committee's going to veto Brody, whatever he does. They don't like him anyway because he's not an islander. Yeah, so that plays into it again. We've got Lorraine Gary back as Ellen Brody, and I quite fancy her in this film.
Oh yeah,
I like that 70s look. Changes when we get to Jaws 4, and she looks like Dee Snider. But in this film, she's got that headscarf on. She's got that 70s look on, those big sunglasses. I like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a lot to do in this film, to be honest. I think maybe you could have expanded a little bit to her character, getting involved with the mayor or something once they bring that girl back safely to land. But I think they could have maybe expanded on that a little bit. Would have been nice. All in all, it's a great film. It
is.
I may have seen it more times than the original Jaws, because I think it's probably a film you can just put on and watch. Whereas Jaws is a great film, but it's one I like to put on every so often and just soak it all in and then put it away till next year sort of thing.
Right.
But I think Jaws 2 is one, I fancy watching a shark film. I'll stick on Jaws 2.
Yeah.
In the same way you'd watch a good Friday the 13th sequel or something like that, So yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, the end, he kills the shark with an electric cable, which is sort of foretold very early on in the film.
Yes.
The only thing I don't like about this, and they can't really help it, is when the shark is burning at the end, I don't think a flesh and blood creature would burn like that.
Yeah, but again,
whereas
Jaws.
A fiberglass shark would. Yeah, you can tell it's fiberglass the way the flames are shooting out the eyes and that. It's a little bit, it looks like a burnt out car. But, what are they going to do? Again, it's that believability, the impossible we can believe, the implausible isn't so easy to believe,
The iconic helicopter scene.
Yeah, the guy with the most 70s beard ever.
Yeah.
And those big headphones on. Yeah, do you think he's going to save the day? Because he lands on the water. Uh-oh, what happens? I must say, that's a pretty quick shark as well, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. But I also think it's probably the best looking shark in the series.
You think so?
I think so, maybe.
Huh.
It's not quite as jowly as the one in the first film.
No, but I thought the shark that ate Quint was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. But I think they got the mouth a bit better on this one. It doesn't look quite as jowly. I think some of the tail movements aren't quite as good, but, you know.
But what I really want to know is he had an awful short rope.
Yeah.
How the hell was he going to tow those kids with that short rope in a helicopter?
Don't know.
Didn't think that one through very well.
Well, they weren't going to get that far, were they?
And how come in the movies they throw a rope and everybody catches it?
Yeah, that's true.
But we digress.
I think it retains the feel of the first film. It is more simplistic. There's not a lot of character development as opposed to the first film. I think it assumes you've seen the first film, so
I was going to say it builds off the previous character roles.
Yeah, so Roy Scheider's character is the only one you really got to follow on from the first film.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great film. I give it a solid 4.
That's exactly what I gave it.
Yeah. Wow, we're agreeing this week. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's a solid 4 bow-legged Spanish women, ladies, whatever, out of 5 for that one.
Yep.
Excellent. Now I think we're going to go downhill.
And quickly.
And very, very quickly.
Yes.
Right, let's play a clip.
A creature alive today has survived millions of years of evolution. It lives to kill, a mindless eating machine that will attack and devour anything. One terrified you like nothing you have ever experienced when it captured your imagination and tapped your fear like no movie before it. Then, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, two continued the legend and spread the fear. Next summer, nature's most terrifying creature takes on an all-new dimension in an all-new adventure. And for the first time, the terror of Jaws will not stop at the edge of the screen. Jaws 3D. The third dimension is terror.
Right. Jaws 3D, 1983. Directed by Joe Alves. Starring Dennis Quaid, Bess Armstrong, Lou Gossett Jr., Simon McCorkindale, P.H. Moriarty, Leah Thompson, and Andy Hansen. Right. So you're laughing already.
Oh, God, am I ever.
I saw this in the cinema when it came out.
I saw this one in the theater.
Yeah. This was the only film I can remember me, my sister, and both my parents going to together. So there's a memory for you. And obviously I was about, what was this, 83? So I was about 6 or 7, something like that.
Okay.
So you're going to see Jaws on the big screen in 3D. It's exciting. And even as a young boy, I thought, bollocks.
Well, the problem is, one, it's a very, very early 3D. So they would have the, blue and red glasses that you had to wear?
Yeah, see, I remember seeing it with, I think it was green and red glasses. But in our feedback, which we'll get to in a minute from Gore, he says it was clear glasses. So I don't know, one of us is wrong.
Really, Gore? I thought it was different color lenses, those paper ones.
I'm pretty sure it was. But, you know, different cinemas, you never know.
Because part of the problem is they shot a whole bunch of 3D scenes, and they're just terrible.
They're shit.
I mean, they're just horrible. Now, compare that to Friday the 13th Part 3, which was in 3D, and I saw that also in the theater.
Okay.
Those 3D scenes translate okay. I don't know if it's because it was darker at night or a darker film, so it kind of hid some of the things. But these 3D ocean shots were just horrible.
Bear in mind that Friday the 13th didn't have a 35-foot rubber thing that's supposed to look like a shark.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Well, let's get to the plot anyway.
Do we have to?
Yeah, it's Jaws. It's in SeaWorld, Florida. That's basically it. Well, we got Dennis Quaid this time playing Mike Brody, the eldest son of Chief Brody. Weird timeline in the Jaws films.
Yes.
Because Jaws 2 was made 3 years later, and I think the son says in one of the scenes that it's 6 years later, and one of the sons has aged about 10 years, and the other one's aged about 6 months.
Yeah. I know.
It's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, Dennis Quaid is Mike Brody, who was the eldest son. Bess Armstrong plays his girlfriend, Catherine Morgan. They work at SeaWorld in Florida. Somebody gets attacked by a baby great white shark inside the park. So they capture that baby shark, and then the mother comes looking for it.
That's right.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Jaws 3. I don't like the film.
I don't even care for the idea of Jaws 3.
It's basically a 2-hour advert for SeaWorld.
Yes.
Why the fuck you'd want to go there after there's been a shark attack, I don't know. But that's a bit like having Towering Inferno advertise your new apartment block, isn't it?
Yes.
Come and live here. The lifts don't work. The stairs fall apart. But come here anyway.
Oh, God.
The casting in this is very weird. I don't like any of the characters. Mike Brody's he's not heroic. He's quite bland as a character in this film.
Yep.
I don't think Dennis Quaid does anything particularly wrong. I just don't think he's got a lot of material to work with. I think Bess Armstrong comes out of it the best. She's the best actress in the whole thing, or best actor in the whole thing.
Yep.
Simon McCorkindale plays Philip Fitzroyce, the token Brit who's going to save the day, rah-de-rah-de-rah. He comes across like Boris Johnson's slightly fitter and more sporty elder brother. Don't like the character, don't like the actor much anyway.
Yeah.
Lou Gossett Jr., a year after Officer and a Gentleman? There we go, here's a little fact for you. All right.
Something like that.
Lou Gossett Jr. got an Academy Award for Officer and a Gentleman, and his next film was Jaws 3, and he got a Razzie.
Well, I mean,
All right. Name the second actor to do that.
I don't know. I'd take too long to think about it.
All right. If I said to you, he's in this franchise.
Well, it's got to be one of two people, Roy Scheider or Richard Dreyfuss.
No, wrong way. Other way. Michael Caine. Michael Caine got a Academy Award for Hannah and Her Sisters, and his next film was Jaws the Revenge.
Oh, dear Lord.
And he got a Razzie for that. So there you go. Two actors who got Oscars and then Razzies, and they're both in the Jaws franchise. What does that tell you?
That the Jaws franchise was desperate.
Yeah, this is a desperate film. Lou Gossett Jr. is awful in it. P.H. Moriarty plays Simon McCorkindale's sidekick, and he's fucking terrible in this. And I quite like P.H. Moriarty. I don't know how well you know him over in the US, but he's in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, we really don't know him that well here.
He pops up every now and again as a heavy. In the right film, I think he's okay. In this film, he's absolutely terrible. He's got some terrible lines as well. But the main thing about this film that really gets me is the shark looks absolutely shit.
Yes.
Doesn't even look like a shark.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's some sort of big megalodon type thing. All it does is it moves from side to side going la 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 la. Just opening and closing its mouth randomly.
Look, even Sharktopus on a TV movie looks better than this.
Yeah, this is the budgets they're working with, and the fact that it's early 80s, special effects had moved on from the 70s. You look at a film like Orca Killer Whale that came after Jaws 2, which was a Jaws knockoff.
Yes.
Damn sight better than this.
Oh, dear Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Mecha Shark versus Mega Shark, where they actually have a robotic shark fighting a mega shark, is better than this.
Is it? I haven't seen that one, but yeah, I can quite understand that. It doesn't even look like a shark. It looks shit. It's a boring film. It's got some awful dialogue. Mummy, look at the big fish. a random voice that comes out of nowhere because there's no children speaking in that scene. It's a horrible film. It's not an enjoyable film to watch. And I think that's what separates it from the one that comes next. It's just not an enjoyable film. And when I think about it, Jaws the Revenge gets a lot of shit from people because the shark roars in it. It does in this one as well.
Yeah, it does. It
does. And it was more pronounced on the Blu-ray. Yeah. A roaring shark And the Blu-ray looks terrible. I haven't watched it in 3D because I haven't got a 3D player, but I just watched the standard iDef transfer, and it was grainy as fuck.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with because of the way they shot the film to get that 3D effect.
Yeah, it's really bad considering Jaws: The Revenge I'll be fair, Jaws: The Revenge on Blu-ray does look pretty damn good. Really clear. This looks absolutely shit. My least favourite of the series, I'm going to say.
It's this one is just terrible top to bottom.
Yeah, I give it 1.
That's what I gave it.
Bloody hell. It's not a film I enjoy. I doubt whether I'll watch it again unless it's for research purposes. So, yeah, the DVD looks better than the Blu-ray, and that's a bad thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the DVD only looks bad because it's in such high definition. Everything is magnified, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a poor film. It's not an exciting film. It's just shite on every level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes.
There's not a lot else to say about it.
There's just nothing else to say.
It's not good. If it's on telly late at night and you don't want to go to bed and it's on, stick it on if you like. But, there are shitter but better films out there, if you know what I mean.
This is one of those films where if the remote control isn't within your grasp and it's really late at night, you might watch due to sheer laziness.
If you've lost the use of your legs and your hands and you can't physically change channel.
That's right.
Then at least you could probably laugh at Louis Gossett Jr. saying things like, "No grenades." What's his character's name? Calvin Bouchard. Drinks are free. Oh, piss off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, not good. Shark looks crap. The attacks look crap. Shark effect, 3D effects are crap. Somebody has told me that they have watched this on 3D on a Blu-ray player and it looks okay. But, And again, if in the future I get a 3D player and a 3D telly, I'll give it another watch just to be sure. But that's about it.
I mean, I have a 3D television, but I didn't even think about trying to watch it in 3D TV.
No, but you'd have to have a player as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I get those bits of equipment, I will put it on just to see how the effects look, but that's the only time I'm probably going to watch it again.
Exactly.
Unless I'm in a hospital bed with complete paralysis and some bastard has left it on the telly and I can't do anything about it. Even then I'll just go to sleep. Right, we've got some feedback from our friend Gore, blimey.
Always glad Gore, blimey. Love you, Gore.
And funnily enough, this is the film that he's told us all about. So we'll play that back and then we'll have a little comment.
Hi, Chris and Myron. Gore Blimey here from the Trilogy of Terror podcast. The Jaws franchise is an interesting mix. I still think the original is one of the most scary, tense films out there, and Jaws Revenge is up there as one of my favourite so bad it's good movies. I rewatched Jaws 3 last night and took some notes for you of what I thought about it. There was a lot of fevered scrawling at the time, so apologies if this sounds a bit random and disorganised, and trust me, I had to take out a lot of ranting and swearing. After Jaws 3 came out, it was nominated for 5 Golden Raspberry Awards, or Razzies, and the shocking thing is, it didn't win any of them, which means there were movies that year that were even worse. And in this instalment of the Jaws series, the irony of water skiers literally jumping the shark was not lost on me at all. Right, deep breath, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I actually went to see this at the cinema, in 3D, when it first came out. I remember really well the special glasses. They were cardboard with Jaws 3D printed on them and had clear polarizer lenses. We'd moved beyond the old school red and blue by then, and these ones gave you an enhanced experience of severe eye strain and splitting headache. But even at the time watching it, I do remember thinking the special effects were absolutely terrible. Shockingly bad blue screen that had people laughing in the cinema, speeded up stock footage of sharks, a stiff as a board dummy in the first half, and even a stop motion puppet wiggling its tail towards the end. My only real reason to go and see this was for the 3D experience, which was having a bit of a revival at the time. I'd imagined this would be an amazing opportunity to see sharp-toothed predators leaping right out of the screen at you. No, it's really not like that. Most of the 3D is used on rubbish things that have no consequence to the story or the subject, like a random reed poking out towards the camera, or a crab on a sticky out bit of coral. It actually felt like they'd done all the filming, realised they'd forgot to put the 3D in, then went back and just inserted some random clips here and there. And on the very few occasions they do something interesting, it's handled so badly it's just funny. Things like a decapitated fish head, still breathing somehow, or a severed arm, float towards the camera, then pause there for a bit too long. But rather than gazing in wonder at the illusion of closeness, you just gawp at how rubbish it looks. Well, I did anyway. I don't know why it was so difficult to get rid of the shark here either. I mean, they've got Manimal walking around. I kept expecting him to turn into a killer whale and just scare the thing off. But I was sadly let down. He's all upper-class English accent, Union Jack patches on his diving suit and cocky attitude. And he has a henchman who says things like, "Don't ignore the bleeding out, governor." Having said that, they did put Manimal Bloke in a revealing skin-tight wetsuit for half the film, so not all bad. Now, I understand this was filmed at an actual SeaWorld or something. How did they agree to let them film it there? Showing how dangerous it would be if a killer shark got loose, technical faults during an emergency evacuation, trapping members of the public and nearly drowning them. Did they think this film might encourage more tourists to visit their attraction? Intriguing also that the SeaWorld type place in the film decides to make a great white shark its star attraction and crowd puller, considering most people have only heard of the great white from watching Jaws. I don't know, it doesn't seem right. Can a movie sequel assume fictional characters within it have seen its fictional predecessor? Not sure about all the science either. Sharks cannot swim backwards. Even I know that. And I'm not entirely convinced that a wall of bubbles would safely keep a big one out, even if they are afraid of lava lamps or whatever it was he said. But when it inevitably does get through, I love the shark looking hungrily through the glass into the big restaurant, in the same way the restaurant guests had probably been looking at lobsters in a tank before choosing their main course. Okay, the story, the script, the acting and the special effects all make Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, in comparison, look like a Jacques Cousteau documentary. The climax of the film comes when a horribly blue-screen shark drifts slowly towards the control room window without moving a muscle, while people scream and panic in extreme slow motion. After it breaks through and starts chewing on someone, we clearly hear them cry out, "Ow!" which not only seems like the world's biggest understatement, but it's underwater. Wouldn't it have sounded more like glug glug gurgle? All this silliness is quickly superseded by the unintentional comedy joy of the shark exploding and its dentures flying towards the camera, and then just sitting, hovering there for a moment. But all of that pales in comparison to the worst effect of the film. They saved that till last. The pièce de shit. Yes, it's that closing freeze-frame shot. Two laughing survivors in the water with a pair of leaping dolphins cut out and pasted on the screen really badly, as if done using Microsoft Paint. If ever a single image sums up this film, there it is.
Right then. Yeah, thanks, Gore.
Thank you, Gore. And don't forget to please check out Gore's podcast, Trilogy of Terror.
Yes. Has the second one gone up yet?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, re-listen to the first one then.
It's really good. I mean, he doesn't do long podcasts. They're very short, very succinct, very to the point, just like his feedback.
Yep. So he thinks the same as me about Jaws 3. One thing I will pick him up on is... Oh, it's fun. I sound like a teacher, don't I? I'm going to pick him up on this. No, he does question where it was filmed. I do believe that a lot of it was actually shot in SeaWorld.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know some of it was shot on the Universal backlot, but there are some genuine scenes from SeaWorld in there.
Huh, very cool.
So, yeah, is my belief. Somebody may correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Right then, should we move on to the next one?
Yes, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. I shall play a trailer.
Instinctively, man has always been drawn to the sea. Its beauty, its mystery, its secrets. But there is also a vague uncertainty, a sense of intrusion into an alien world, where man is unwelcome and completely at the mercy of the most terrifying predator on Earth. Man's deepest fear has risen again. Jaws, the Revenge. This time, it's personal.
Right, Jaws, The Revenge, 1987. Directed by Joseph Sargent. Starring Lorraine Gary, Lance Guest, Karen Young, Mario Van Peebles, Michael Caine, Lynn Whitfield, and Melvin Van Peebles. There you go.
That was Mario Van Peebles, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Putting on a very fake Jamaican accent.
It was terrible.
A very, very fake Jamaican accent by Mario Van Peebles.
Synopsis was, there's another shark.
There's another one! Fucking hell. You'd think they'd move inland, wouldn't you?
You'd think so.
See, if they didn't go to the beach, there wouldn't be a fucking problem, would there?
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, yeah, the Brody family, Ellen Brody now thinks she's the target of a curse of some sort.
I know.
Oh, fucking hell. Have you read the book?
Is there a book?
Yes. You don't know about this?
No.
Right.
There's a book?
There's a novelization.
Oh, God.
I believe it's by Hank Searle, who did Jaws 2.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'll tell you, I'm trying to say this with a straight face. The book gives you more. The book tries to justify why the shark is stalking the family. Would you like to know that reason why?
Oh, Hank. Sure.
It's to do with a voodoo curse.
Of course it is.
I believe it's been years since I read this. It's either Chief Brody did something or Mike Brody did something. I think it's Mike Brody. Did something to somebody and beat them up or whatever. And this voodoo priest has put a curse on the Brody family that a shark will haunt them, basically. And in the book, you get chapters that are told from the shark's perspective. I think the world has stopped spinning on its axis as I say those words.
I don't even know what to say about that.
But this is going to sound really weird, but go with me. It's actually more satisfying than the film. Because complete bollocks that it is, at least it's something.
That's saying something.
Yeah. Now, this film is terrible. It's universally loathed and despised by most people.
With good reason.
With good reason. But I'm going to put this out here now. If you put this and Jaws 3 in front of me and said, watch one right now, I'd pick this one.
Yes, me too.
Because this is so bad it's good. This is the definition of it. It is terrible.
But it's not good. It's just terrible. It's just less terrible than Jaws 3.
Yeah. It's not as depressingly awful as Jaws 3, because at least in this you've got Michael Caine, who's cashing paychecks then. I do believe he got ripped off by a manager or something. He got ripped off for millions and he was taking any role he could, because that's why he was doing stuff like The Island and Blame It on Rio and all that sort of stuff. And this.
Okay.
Famously, he missed out on collecting his Oscar for Hannah and Her Sisters because he was filming this. And I think he said something along the lines afterwards, I've never seen Jaws the Revenge, but I've heard it's terrible. And then he says something like, I have, however, seen the house that it paid for. Which is fair enough.
Fair play, Mr. Caine.
Fair play, Mr. Caine. He is the best thing in it. My favourite scene is when he lands the plane on the sea and he gets out and the shark jumps up and he just goes, oh shit. And dives back in the plane. Now, I may be wrong here. I think there is a cut of this film where he comes out the plane, the shark jumps up and he says, oh, bloody hell, and jumps back in the plane again. I'm pretty sure that is what he said in the version I saw at the cinema back in 87.
Oh, God.
But on the Blu-ray, he says, oh shit, dives back in the plane. That's the best bit. The shark is better looking than the shark in Jaws 3. I'll give it that.
Yes.
It looks like something that they chose for the first film but didn't want to use because it wasn't quite right. I think it's probably the most politest way. It's not the way the shark looks, it's the movement. It doesn't move like a shark. It looks like it's on a board and somebody's just steering it around.
Yes, that's true too.
Especially by the end when it seems to be flipping out of the water like a dolphin. Oh, that's a point. We didn't mention the shit dolphins at the end of Jaws 3, did we? That are superimposed onto the screen at the end. Oh, God.
Well, they were probably the best acting turned in by the two dolphins, Sandy, and I don't remember the other one.
I don't know. I was going to say Pepsi and Shirley. It's not them, is it? I can't remember. Yeah, sorry. Forgot to mention, going back to Jaws 2, Jaws 2's got a great score.
Oh, yeah. No, it does.
That theme at the beginning when the credits are rolling and you've got that big dun, dun, dun. That's brilliant, that is.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. You don't get that in this film.
No. The whole plot's a mess.
The plot's a mess. Lorraine Gary is not very good in it. She looks like Dee Snider. It's the last film she made. I believe she was talked into it because she's married to one of the producers or something like that.
Okay.
Interestingly, Roy Scheider was asked to reprise his role as Chief Brody, and he politely told him to F off. Quite wisely.
Yes.
Lance Guest is as wooden as the boat that he's sailing in. Mario Van Peebles is borderline racist with his accent. Karen Young has the most annoying scream when she's shouting people's names out. Have you heard it? Michael! Oh, God. Throw her in, somebody. Fucking hell.
Oh.
So if you took Michael Caine out of this, there'd be nothing to enjoy at all. Yeah, he's the best thing in it. Read the book, watch the film, have a laugh, don't take it seriously. This gets a 1.5 from me.
Funny, I actually gave it a full 2.
Wow, there you go. I wouldn't blame anyone who did. I'll be honest, I did have an R over it. I was going to go to 2, but 1.5. It's more fun than Jaws 3. It's still shit, but it's fun.
Yes.
Cool.
So your ranking is going to be the same as mine.
Yeah. Should we rank them first, or do you want to do feedback first? I've got a bit more feedback.
Well, let's just rank them. I know we're going to go with Jaws, then Jaws 2, then Jaws 4, then Jaws 3.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're agreeing this week. There's no Amityville 2 disagreements here.
That's scary.
What, Amityville 2 was scary?
No.
Oh.
That was shitty.
No, it wasn't.
It's scary that we agree.
We do. We have some more feedback from our friend Amanda.
Oh, love Amanda.
Oh, we love Amanda. She's made for TV mayhem. Let's see if we still love her after this feedback, shall we?
Yep.
Amanda says, "Hi guys. I'm kind of a shark movie junkie. My love of sharks started when I was roughly 5 or 6 and continues to this day. In fact, I even did the whole shark cage thing when I was in Hawaii a few years ago. It was awesome and surprisingly not scary. I'd love to go in a shark cage. That'd be fantastic. With a few exceptions." What? I would.
Have you not seen a movie called Jaws?
Yeah, not that shark cage.
Okay. All right.
I don't think me and Richard Dreyfuss would fit in one together. He was in a film I watched last night, actually. No, we wouldn't fit in one. She continues, "With a few exceptions, I try to watch anything and everything that comes out in the shark attack subgenre. School has kept me away from some modern titles such as The Reef and the new one The Shallows, but I've seen enough to know what I like and don't. And so here are a few words about the Jaws series. Jaws. Obviously this one is great, and it's my all-time favourite film, jump-starting my fascination with sharks. Myron may remember this. Here in the States, Jaws seems to run every Sunday on the ABC Sunday Night at the Movies in the late 70s and early 80s. So I grew up with the characters and Amity. Do you remember that?
Yep, I do.
You do? There you go.
I do.
Well, we sort of had it playing over here quite regularly as well. A good friend of mine told me if he ever got rich, he was going to have a suit made with little anchors on it, just like the one Murray Hamilton wears in the film. This is an example of how Jaws sits in our collective consciousness. The characters and the storytelling is timeless. Such a wonderful film. Yes, very true. Also, I'm in love with Deputy Hendricks. That's Amanda, not me. Played by the adorable Jeffrey Kramer. He should have had his own film, and we should be married. There's still time, Amanda. All right. Now, I get that Jaws is a timeless work of art, and it is indeed my favourite film. But I watched Jaws 2 way more than I watched the original. It's like what we said earlier. It's like a slasher film with a shark as the unstoppable killer, and Lord Almighty, there's tons of awesome shark footage. Like all good sequels, it ups the violence and the action, and has always been a film I can watch at any time. Plus, Deputy Hendricks' part is expanded a little bit. Well, that sounds rude. That must have been another version I haven't seen.
I'm just thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Hendrix expanded part. Anyway, I love him. Did I mention that? Also, random. If memory serves, in the first film, Hendrix's first name is Len or something like that. In the sequel, he's referred to as Jeff, which is the actor's real first name. That's how many times I've seen these films. I'm going to have to correct you there, Amanda. The character of Len is actually one of the counsellors. He's in the first and second film. He's the one that Brody doesn't agree with on most things. That's the character of Len. I don't think Hendrix's first name is referred to in the first film. Where are we?
Interesting.
Yes. My favourite scene in Jaws 2 is when Marge is eaten whole. For a while, there was a 10-plus page thread on IMDb discussing poor Marge's death. She died a hero. It was certainly one of the most disturbing things I saw as a kid, and it haunted me. I also like when the scuba diver swims past the shark, because there's an awesome close-up of Bruce, and it's freaky. Yeah, we must say the shark is nicknamed Bruce, after Steven Spielberg's lawyer, I believe.
Yes.
Overall, all of the deaths are memorable and amazing, and still terrifying to a degree. It's an underrated gem as far as I'm concerned. I think Jaws 3 is fun. Oh dear. I saw it in 3D when it came out, so I have the memory of that, which I think helps the film stay in my good graces. But overall, it's lightweight and easy to watch. It also helped greatly by actors putting in genuine performances. It's hilarious that Simon McCorkindale, who played Manimal, was taken down by Jaws. That seems so ironic. That scene was also another childhood nightmare. The point of view from inside the shark's mouth is really disturbing and pretty unique. Surprisingly effective for such a film. The other best scene is easily when the people are in the underwater tunnel and Jaws attacks. I've also been in a glass tunnel in a shark exhibit, but nothing happened and I was disappointed. Bit like Jaws 3 then. Now, I'm in the minority, but I don't really mind Jaws 4. Depending on my mood, it's either really horrible or somewhat fun. I love that the shark is seeking out family members and Lance Guest looks super hot with a beard. I think a different studio made this one. No, they didn't. It was Universal. So the shark looks really clunky. It looks clunky because it's shit. I did watch Jaws 4 with my nephew once and he refused to get in the pool afterwards, so it has an effect on some people. Young, naive people. Also, I prefer the end where Mario Van Peebles lives. Kind of a fun nod to Lance Guest's resurrection in the TV version of Halloween 2. Unintentional for sure, but funny. That ended up being a lot. Sorry. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Amanda. Thanks, Amanda.
Yep. Thank you. And we kind of depart on Jaws 3, don't we?
Yeah. Amanda, you've got to stop being so nice about things. You can say if a film is shit. You really can. Sometimes you have to stop with the positives and just say it as it is.
Amityville 2 is terrible.
See, Myron is entitled to say that. He's wrong, but he's entitled to say that. Just look at our Twitter feeds to see how many people back me up. And I know Amanda backs me up on that one as well.
Oh, everybody backs you up.
I know. Yeah, she agrees with us on Jaws 4, though, that it can be horrible, but it is somewhat fun.
Yes.
Yes. She also mentions the ending where Mario Van Peebles lives, because there are two versions of this film. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, both endings, because in the one ending, the shark gets speared by the boat, of course, and sinks to the bottom of the sea, with the boat still attached to it. In the ending that we actually get for the theatrical version, the shark gets speared by the boat and inexplicably explodes. Because sharks do that. They've got a canister of gas inside them.
I know.
Absolute bollocks. I will say that the ending where it gets speared and you see it sinking to the bottom, I actually quite like that image of the sharks floating to the bottom with the front of the boat stuck in it.
It's a far cry better than a spontaneous combusting shark.
Yeah, in the theatrical, the shark explodes, and the shot they use to show the shark sinking to the bottom is the same as the one from the first film. So it's sinking to the bottom, and if you look carefully, you can see the ropes and barrels that are still attached to it. Absolute disgrace ending that film. They should have stuck with the other one. At least there was a bit of blood in it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, she also says that she thinks it's a nod to Lance Guest's resurrection in Halloween 2. I'm pretty sure that's not what Joseph Sargent had in mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah. I like her comment about Murray Hamilton's suit in the first one. You know, he's wearing a suit with anchors on it, you know, and and they got a shark problem. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Amanda. Always love to hear from you. Yeah, you always bring something to the feedback which we don't always spot. So thank you very much. Right then, that's Jaws done and dusted. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
We are going to do a quick start again. We're going to do a quick review of a new film called The Witch.
Highly anticipated new film.
Highly anticipated. Let's play a trailer.
What went we out into this wilderness to find? Leaving our country, kindred, our fathers' houses. For what? For the kingdom of God. Let us pray.
You've cursed this family.
Who's there?
Oh God, my Lord, I now begin. Oh, help me and don't leave my sin. For I repentant now shall be. From evil I will turn to thee. None ever shall destroy my faith. For I repentant now shall be. Oh God, my Lord, I now begin. Oh, help me and don't leave my sin. For I repentant now shall be. From evil I will turn to thee.
Let us leave the wood.
Right then, The Witch from 2015, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Ralph Ineson, Anya Taylor-Joy, Kate Dickie, Harvey Scrimshaw, Lucas Dawson, Julian Richings. Right then, do you want to read out a synopsis?
No, go ahead.
You want me to do it? All right.
Yes, I do.
Okay. A family in 1630s New England is torn apart by the forces of witchcraft, black magic, and possession. Ooh. Yeah. So I watched this the other night. This has been around for a while on the festival circuit. I think it's been out in the US on Blu-ray for a while.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it came out here last week. So I bought a copy and I watched it 2 nights ago.
No, I've seen it in the theater as well.
Right, okay. I didn't see it in theatres. So what did you think?
I loved it.
You loved it.
I did. I thought it was, it really captured an old English style ghost story.
Yeah.
Extremely well acted. Lots of tension. Very much a slow burn. There's nothing overt. Everything is kind of under the covers, down a layer, so to speak.
Yeah.
Really, really good. It keeps you guessing because is this going on? No, wait a minute. That's going on. No, this is going on. It's a very, very much a mental gymnastics type of movie.
Okay. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to agree with you.
Really?
Yes. I really like this. I watched this with my wife on Friday. And when it finished, my wife went, oh, well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? And I said, no, it wasn't. But I had to sit back and think about it after I'd watched it.
Yes.
I didn't straight away go, oh, that was brilliant. I knew I liked it, but I wasn't sure why. And so I sat and I pondered it over a little bit. And, yeah, I think it captures that, like you said, that New England medieval feel. Very much in the same tone as things like Witchfinder General. What was the other film I thought of? Oh, God. I can't remember now. There's another film I thought of that came up like it. Can't remember. No.
For whatever reason, for me, I kept thinking of the trilogy Black Sabbath.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just kept,
I suppose there's that oppressive tone to it, isn't there?
Yeah, especially in the, is it Is it the last one where the vampires in?
It depends what version you see, because the Italian version, they're all out in a different sequence.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know the shot, the one with Boris Karloff in.
Yes,
As
that's
the
the one.
The old guy. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, the vibe is very much the same.
It very much made me think of that. And, you know, it's funny because I agree with you. It's, when I saw it, you know, I kept thinking, was she really possessed or was it just going crazy?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just something you just have to almost constantly think about.
Yeah. I think what helps with this film is the acting. The acting is superb from everybody.
It is top notch. It's very, 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 very period.
Yeah.
Very.
It's quite nice to see Ralph Ineson in a lead role in a film like this. Are you aware of who he is?
No.
No, he plays the father. He's probably best known over here, you know, The Office, the comedy?
Yes.
He's in the British version of The Office.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, and he does lots of voiceover work for adverts and things. You'll hear it.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
He does a lot of that, but he pops up in comedies and things every now and again. But yeah, really, really good. He played a really good sort of puritanical father. I dare say if this film had been made sort of 40, 50 years ago, it would have been Christopher Lee or somebody like that in that sort of role. The daughter was played by Anya Taylor-Joy, I believe her name is. She was really good. Lots of undertones of burgeoning womanhood and things like that in this film.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She's a teenager who's, I think the mother drops the line at some point that she's becoming a woman. Kate Dickie plays the mother. Yeah, again, very, very good. Yeah, the acting was just top notch, and I think that helps, because if you'd have got this casting wrong, because it's a slow-burning film, you've got to have actors and characters that you can stick with.
Right.
For an hour and a half of essentially not a lot happening.
Right.
But
I mean, the whole family, all the actors,
even the two young children,
absolutely,
were very, very good.
Oh God, yes.
And there's a little bit of misdirection in there as well, because you're supposed to think that the two young children may be possessed at some point,
and you do think it.
But they're not.
Yes.
But they talk to the goat, who's called Black Phillip. Only in a way that, you know, kids playing games do. You know, they talk to animals and that sort of thing. And it's only after that happens that you think, oh, maybe there's something in this.
Yeah, exactly.
And Black Phillip sort of comes forward as the icon of the film.
Absolutely.
And then when the shit does start to happen in the final act, it's all the more effective for it.
He is Satan.
He is Satan. We are going to spoil this. And I can't remember the daughter's name. What was it? It was Thomason, wasn't it? Thomason sells her soul to the devil, basically, and becomes a witch.
Yes.
I love that final scene of the witches in the woods.
But they never actually focus on that part of it.
No.
It's all implied.
Well, the film is called The Witch, but there's actually more than one witch.
Yes.
There's a whole coven of them.
Yes. But you never, I mean, it's not like, if this was made in 2016, that connection would have been a stronger, you know, much darker line from Thomason to the coven.
Yeah.
But even at the end of the movie, you know that's what happened, but it's still all very, did it really happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it does play it ambiguous if you want to read it like that, but I think, yes, it did happen. I think you can take it at face value.
Yes, but you're left with the lingering doubt. It makes you think.
Yeah, was it her? Was it in her mind? Did the devil possess the children? Did it possess the mother? Because the mother tries to kill her at one point.
Absolutely.
Are all these changes happening because of she's growing into womanhood, her body's changing, she's feeling different feelings and all that sort of stuff?
Which is, I mean, that whole coming into womanhood is, God, how many witch movies have been made about that?
Well, lots. I mean, not even witch movies. I mean, things like Carrie as well.
Absolutely.
Play into that sort of, which you could argue is a witch movie of sorts, but
it is, but
yeah,
you know.
It's not so overt as that. I mean, it's not as overt as something as, say, Lords of Salem springs to mind for some reason.
Yes, that was very overt. There was a dark line. Yeah.
So I love that final scene with the witch, and I think that was more of a credible scene than the witch stuff that you get in Lords of Salem. Which is a film that I do like. I really do like that.
I do too. Yes, it is much more credible. Lords of Salem went a little Michael Bay at the end.
It went a little too Rob Zombie at some points.
Yes.
And I never thought I'd say that because I'm a massive Rob Zombie fan. But yeah, this gives it to you in a more subtle way, in a more believable way, not so on the nose. Like you say, you get the glimpse of the witches around the coven and they're having a dance and they're all being lifted up in the air by the power of Satan, but it never lingers on it. It never becomes the driving force of the story, if you like.
And I guess, for me, one of the true tests of this movie is you're not left with, oh, why did she become a witch and sell her soul? Whereas, in a lot of other movies, you want to know that why. This one, you don't even care about the why, because you're too caught up in everything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtext going in on this, like we've said, the oncoming womanhood. But there's also things like the effect of religion on a family, because a lot of this can be put down to the father's puritanical beliefs, that he's willing to ignore what's happening in his family for the sake of following what he calls like the one true God type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastically written. It's a well-observed film because I believe the director took, a lot of true texts and things from that period and wove it into this film.
It shows that he did his research.
Yes.
Absolutely.
More than we ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those films that...
So anybody does more research than we do.
That's true. Even Donald Trump probably does more research than we do.
No.
And that's great. Yeah, so going into this, I wasn't sure what to expect because a lot of modern horror films, they get hyped to absolute silly levels now, So inevitably when you watch it, it's always going to be a disappointment. This got a lot of hype. It has been around for a long time. I think it's thoroughly deserving of it.
Yes.
I think this is what a horror film should be.
It's,
It's not especially gruesome. There is some blood in it. There's an aura about it. It's very haunting, very doomy. Yeah, and very satisfying, I think.
It is.
I can't wait to watch it again, actually. Yeah, it's a very slow film. Not a lot happens for the first hour. It's really setting things up.
Right.
But like I say, the performances are so good that you want to follow what happens to each character. And when it all explodes at the end, there is an emotional payoff.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So, what did you score it?
I gave it a 5.
Ooh. Okay. I erred on the side of caution. I went 4.5.
Now, why did you go 4.5? I'm really curious.
I think that may change when I watch it again.
Okay.
I just felt my own criteria for a perfect film, a perfect 5 score. I think maybe there was a couple of scenes in there where I may have squeezed it down a little bit. Maybe there was a little bit too much dialogue where there didn't need to be, just in one or two places. But I think, it may change if I watch it again because it's remained in my head for the last couple of days.
Huh, okay.
So, I'll say 4.5 now, possible 5 if I watch it again. I'll let you know what happens.
Cool. I'm just shocked that you gave it 4.5.
Why? Did you think I'd hate it?
I didn't know what you would think, but in my mind, there was 2 possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
A 1 or a 5, nothing in between. Seriously. I mean, that's when you said we'll do this, I thought, okay, I'm really interested because I knew it's either going to be a 1 or a 5 with you. For whatever reason, for some reason, I thought there's only going to be 2 ways he's going to go, nothing in between.
I am a big fan of what I would call folk horror. Things like Witchfinder General, Blood on Satan's Claw. That's the film I was trying to think of. Blood on Satan's Claw, The Wicker Man, all that type of stuff. I love all that. I love witchcraft, occultism. If it's done properly in a film, I love to see that.
Do you ever listen to a podcast called The Podcast on Haunted Hill?
I have done, yes.
They do a whole thing on folk horror.
Yeah.
They talk about Wicker Man and Kill List.
Yeah, that's right.
Give that a listen.
Okay.
Listening to those guys describe Wicker Man is absolutely hysterical.
Kill List is another film I need to go back to because I wasn't completely sold on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched it and then ended up having a little bit of a chat with Duncan.
Oh,
from Podcast Under the Stairs about it. Yeah. I was not necessarily confused by the end, but it was an odd ending, and we talked about it, and he gave me some of his theories, and you got to go watch it again.
Yeah, I know he loves that film. Yeah, I didn't not like it, but I want to watch it again just to get it clear in my head, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think The Witch fits in perfectly well with those films, and I'm looking forward to watching it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ben Wheatley's other films?
I've seen Sightseers,
which cracked me up,
which was good. I haven't seen Field in England.
I haven't either yet. I haven't been able to find it.
And I have seen his first film, and the name of which escapes me.
He's got a new one coming out called High Rise.
Is he the director, or is he just the producer?
director, I thought.
Is he? Because I know he's put his name to something else that's coming out recently as well. Hang on, let me have a look before I make a total tit of myself. No, he did direct High Rise, you're correct. Yeah, Sightseers, Kill List. I've seen. He did a segment in ABCs of Death. U is for Unearthed. Down Terrace, that's the film I'm thinking of. I've seen Down Terrace as well. So yeah, he's definitely a filmmaker who thinks in that way.
Yeah,
that folk horror way, but trying to spice it up a bit, which is good. I like it.
Absolutely.
And I love the poster for The Witch as well. That silhouette of the naked woman in the woods.
Yes.
Anything with naked women's good by me, but
absolutely, buddy.
Yeah, as we're getting a reputation for.
Well, next time we get together, so Podcast on Haunted Hill is hosted by two guys, Dan and Gav. And, Gav is a bit of a filmmaker.
Is he now?
Yeah, he did, and he did a found footage movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah.
Don't listen to Chris, Gav. Don't worry about it. But yeah, he sent me a link. I want to watch it and talk about it next time.
Well, you can do that next time.
That's right. Only because I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. So it could be good, bad, or ugly.
It could be.
It could be one of them. We know what section it's going to go in. Don't be daft.
Oh.
Anyway. Right. I think that wraps us up for today. Next time, show number 16. I think we've decided we're going to book ourselves into the Bates Motel.
Yes.
Yes. We're going to do Psycho.
Yes. We're
going to do the 4 Anthony Perkins films, plus a quick look over the remake. And I think we're going to throw in a review of Microwave Massacre as well.
Yes, we are.
We are indeed. This show won't be going out till the beginning of August. I'm then on holiday for a couple of weeks, so we're probably not going to be recording till the end of August. If that's okay with everyone?
It's okay with me.
Fucking shame if it's not, because that's what's happening. In that time, I am going to put out on our Twitter feed, I'm going to put out a little poll, because in the shows leading up to show number 20, we want to do one of the big boys, either Friday the 13th or Halloween. And we're not sure which one to do, so I'm going to put it out as a poll on the Twitter feed, so you lot can decide. Isn't that exciting? Yes, it is. So, keep an eye out on our Twitter feed, ancient_slumber. I'll be putting out a poll out. For shows 17, 18 and 19, do you want us to do Friday the 13th or Halloween? I know which one Myron would prefer.
That would surprise you.
Really? Oh,
yes.
Are you siding with me on this one then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, let's put it out to the people.
Actually, believe it or not, I am.
Okay.
I actually just rewatched all the Halloweens, so I'm in the Halloween mindset, but I haven't delved into Friday the 13th as much as I've watched all the Halloween ones.
Oh, okay.
So it's a series I don't know as much about movie-wise compared to the Halloween ones.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let's put it out to the people anyway, because now I've said it. So 17, 18, 19, either Friday the 13th or Halloween, you can cast your votes. If you want to get hold of us any other way, you can do so on our email address, which is ancientslumberpodcast@gmail.com. For any feedback, we're on Twitter at ancient_slumber. Both Myron and I are on Twitter individually. I am at Horrorsmith, and you are?
At MASCHEM67.
Oh, Mazchem67. And
that's right.
We're also both on Letterboxd, and we have a YouTube channel as well. I think that covers everything. Please stick in some iTunes reviews and bump us up the rankings. And that's about it. We'll see you next time for a dose of Norman Bates and some mother love.
That's right.
Oh, can't wait. That was a bit Frankie Howard, wasn't it? Oh, no.
Anytime you say the word Frankie, all I can think of is Frankie the girl in The Final Option.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Over here, Frankie Howard.
Oh.
You'd know him if you saw him. Anyway, righty-ho. We'll see you next time. Have a good summer, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
You're all the same. Complain. Oh, shit.